despite millions of naira that has been pumped into Nigeria's power sector. There is little to show for it, as Nigerians are yet to enjoy stable electricity supply. Many have turned to the use of generators and alternative sources of energy like solar to keep their businesses and homes running. There is a push for more Nigerians to embrace the use of renewable energy, which has been scientifically proven to be one of the safest means of electricity supply, which it is a source that does not pollute the atmosphere when used. Joining us via Zoom for more on this issue is the CEO of Green Force Energy, Dera, Ejiofor. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
Right, you're welcome. Now, before we get into the aspect of renewable energy, a majority of Nigerians do not even know what alternative source of energy that we have and what it is about. What they know as alternative source of energy is the use of generators, lantern, kerosene, candles, and all of it. And so if we're talking about alternative source of energy, what are we really looking at?
Yeah, speaking of alternative source of energy, we're looking at renewable energy sources. We presently have about 5 renewable energy sources. We have the hydro, we have the thermal, we have the wind, we have the bio, and we have the solar. The one very available to us where the technology is presently in mass production is the solar, which is where we're focusing on. But for alternative energy, there are 5 various sources in terms of renewable energy, but right now we're focusing on solar and wind.
All right, talk to us about these. Of course, scientifically, all of these alternatives are already available. But if we look at Nigeria right now, from the system we have, from the history we have, from the topography, from the makeup of Nigeria, which one of these alternative sources is Nigeria ready to adopt and can work for us right now?
So presently, the solar source of energy presently works for us. We presently have a good number of energy transition programs ongoing in Nigeria. We have presently towards the renewable energy sector. There's been a certain awareness and participation from both the renewable energy entrepreneurs we have and also the general public in terms of solutions that are being provided in various areas in Nigeria. So we're looking at the sun. What does solar do? Solar basically takes energy from the sun, from the sun rays, and the panels convert this into DC, which is able to go into our batteries, and at the same time, it's being converted into AC to be able to power our homes. So this is presently good for us in Africa because we have very good sunlight, and at the same time, we also have a lot of space to build solar farms. We have a lot of forest. We're in the sub-Sahara, so obviously we have the rainforest here. So there's time for us to actually still include the wind energy in terms of going from just using only solar. At the same time, we can have windmills that are using the wind to generate some form of energy. But presently in solar, we have different packages which can power different appliances we have in our houses, from light bulbs to TVs to ACs. And this can be implemented in stores. This can be implemented in offices, religious houses, tertiary institutions, anywhere we have any appliance that needs some form of power. So solar is presently available to us, and it's getting more affordable by the day.
When you say it's getting more affordable, because that's where my next question lies, how do we mean affordable? Because a lot of persons seem not to be able to access this and afford it as we speak.
when we speak about affordability, I believe when technology comes out, initial cost of production is always high till there's a certain breakthrough as to mass production. So presently in solar, the cost of acquisition is relatively high because it's a long-term investment. People see solar as an instant investment. No, a solar panel has a lifespan of about 50 years to a century. So if a product has a lifespan of about 50 years to a century, and in 50 years it can generate power as long as there's sun coming down to the cells on the panel, I believe looking at the amount and looking at the duration is relatively affordable. So you can have a solar solution for about less than ₦1 million, and this definitely can power whatever you have for the next 25 years. But the initial cost of acquisition, which people tend to see as, oh, this is quite expensive, it's better I buy my generator and buy fuel every day. It works hand in hand, but if you look closely, you realize that solar is a long-term decision. So for it to be more affordable would be where, like they said in the climate conference, the UN Secretary General reached out to European companies and said they should come into Africa and ease our transition into renewable energy. So we need some form of support to allow people to have some spread payment plan. We need some form of support from the government to help people move into this long-term decision. So you look at a country like United States, where in California, they were trying to set a limit on electric cars at around 2035. And when you swap your electric car for a regular fossil fuel car, you would get between $5,000 to $10,000 tax credit. This is the United States government trying to create some form of incentive to encourage people. The reason they have still not been able to meet their target is because the cost of electric cars is still not cheap compared to regular cars. However, the government is putting some financial structure to ease this transition. So while I'll say it's relatively affordable, it's because it's long-term.
So if you are talking about some form of assistance from government now, what are you looking at to addressing this matter of affordability?
Okay, so you can see if governments like United States are giving tax credits, when people who have households are transitioning into renewable energy, which in other words, we're saying they are going with the global warming practice we're trying to keep to save our planet. It's just to reduce the CO2 emission that is going into the atmosphere, which is definitely killing our planet. So the government can have some form of incentive to say, oh, if you have renewable energy solution in your house and you want to expand or you want to grow it or you want to increase its capacity, there's some form of tax rebate. For the people importing the products or manufacturing the products, there's some form of tax rebate, there's some form of custom duty or some form of support from the government to reduce the final cost of the product on the end user.
All right. Now, besides the issue of affordability that could be a challenge, what other general issues or factors pose a challenge to the issue of adopting renewable energy for us to begin to use? Because there's so much talk about the benefits of renewable energy, and that is the new horizon, that's the new dawn, that's where we should go as a way of being eco-friendly, yet we're not adopting all of those. What challenges are you seeing?
So the challenges we're having presently, I would say, is apart from affordability, I would say is support from the global manufacturers in the renewable energy space in terms of creating renewable energy and solar academies in Nigeria, creating a better technical support, creating a better awareness for us, improving the knowledge we can have. There is no massive renewable energy academy or some form of presence in Nigeria as we speak. There is little bits of different trainings going on, but we would like to encourage the global manufacturers and even the federal government to see how we can create more awareness to this and make people understand the product better. So the major issue is people do not understand this product. They don't understand how it works. They only understand the benefits, and they don't understand going green is a form of support to saving the planet. If we don't go green by 2050, there's going to be a huge problem for us. If we're already looking at the effects of the global warming now. So people will also have to remove the mindset of this is just about the cost of living. No, this is also about ensuring that the planet is safe for the generations to come. If in 20 to 30 years' time, global warming effects have become very, very severe and there's no going back, we would all hold ourselves accountable to that.
All right, we'll have to leave the conversation here now. CEO Green Force Energy, Dera Ejiofor, thank you for your time on the program.